You meow a lot there. Can't recall if I tested the fully the CP200. I think I did. I can't remember. There's not much noise there. I mean, you know, the Denon, bloody hell. Bloody arc of that noise and that bloody... I wonder how much noise a Trinov generates. Oh dear. And of course, you know, I think, yeah, I think I did do, yeah, of course. I'm curious if disconnecting certain things or maybe making isolations, shielding, because obviously if I put my hand in front of it, then it shields some of the noise being picked up, so therefore it tells me that I can build maybe some sort of DIY insulator by putting some sort of silicon over some of the components and such, and then put a some type of like tin foil, gold foil or whatever it is, to insulate the transmittable frequency generating out from the component, thus being picked up onto another component and thus being received audibly, maybe sometimes, you know, it depends, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it's all going around. I'm trying to see if I could get the signal noise ratio on the CP200 a bit lower. So that's feedback I'm getting there. Just the focus on the camera. So press on the, what's it? There we go. Got to adjust the. Yeah, I've got a bit of a hum buzz there. I can hear. Yeah, I can hear that. A little bit over there. And of course, if I unplug that card, I'll plug that card back in. It's very exhausting work. What generates? What is? I know this here is my magnetic card, and I had a bit of a niffy the other day. I've got a friend who I occasionally talk to. He's going to send me, I think, a link to something that I can use to clean the components. To take the cards out and clean all the. So if I pull this one out, for example, the ends here, to clean these contacts, and thus theoretically it should make less. Well, I mean, it should have all better contact. Oh yeah, I'm on auxiliary number 1. That's okay. That's okay. But the mag the mag card, I think it was about, I don't know how long it was going on for, maybe about a couple of weeks. So I didn't seem to notice it. And the operation switching on here, and then playing a mono sound from the CP500, so I can get just mono sort of thing on here registered, you know, so it wouldn't be with an SW and such. But I was oddly, it was cross-talking out onto the surround, one of the surround channels. I think it was the right surround. And it kind of puzzled me. I mean, I was undoing all the wiring on the back, and I think there's nothing wrong with the wiring, even though it's a bit crap on the back, but still, I mean, I couldn't see how it was possible, what was going on, and thinking it was the formatting on here, or was it the formatting on here? Was it something to do with the formatting on here? Had my cat Bear been behind here and done something? Because I know he likes to get behind the rack. If he often squeezes underneath, it can go underneath these racks. So Bear's very, very clever, so I can't tell whether he's out, in or out. You know, he's been harassing me and Magic. So, you know, I had to think of those possibilities, and then I can't remember what I did. I might have unplugged the, because I didn't do a video. Of it. I think I unplugged it. I was checking around with the card because I had another magnetic one as a backup. Plugged that in, and then suddenly, problem gone, problem solved, thinking, weird. And then I plugged the original one that I had in back into the car frame. Okay, that was weird. Could have been the contact connection, something there. But then there's, you know, you get a lot of dust floating around. I mean, like this can sniff for EMI RF, and well, you can't quite see it when using. You've got to have a certain bright light, and then you can see the dust floating around. Right? It's in everybody's home, even in what you bloody eat. I hope I've just put a lot of people off there, because now you're going to be thinking like, fucking hell, Howard Hughes, because that guy was very, very, very paranoid about touching people, you know, and dirt and dust, and oh god, and very self-conscious about these sort of things. It's like, as long as you, it's like when you got a, if you want to be less depressed, have the window blinds down in the morning. Otherwise, the sunlight coming through and you see all that dust floating around, and then you're cooking your breakfast and all that. Most people don't think about it, but you know, you're consuming it. You know, never mind about handshaking someone and getting dead and getting skin off their hand and all that, or whether or not they've been masturbating and not washed their hand. You know. So, yeah, there's a lot of dust floating around. I can't quite visibly see it, but all I have to do is use a laser, and I can see all the particles floating around. Just as using one of those. Right. Bloody hell, I'll get that bloody light up there. Lightsaber. Force be with you. Let's see if the... Let's turn the light off on the camera. Oh, that's me touching the screen on the... I turned the light off now. I'm trying to hold the camera. Maybe put it on here. Hand free. Makes it a little bit easier. Noise is still there, so not much difference there with the light LED, but when now I'm touching the screen, making a contact, a sort of ground or such contact with the, I have to Google how these devices work when you touch them, but touch screen, it's nothing new, okay, it's been around for decades. But with the conspiracy with Edward Snowden and, you know, all these devices and such, and, you know, every time you know, I need I say any more? Anyway, yeah, so I was just talking to someone about, you know, get one of these, it's cheap, and go around, test everything, and you can see where all this freaking noise is coming from. And I haven't still yet checked the fucking speaker cables. You know, there's one cable here. This is cheap Amazon. It's going to one of my sub-bass speakers. I don't know which one. Why it's going across the carpet like a mess, I don't know. That's a lot of cables up there. I mean, I got bundles over going through that wall, but I want to change everything, get all the rack equipment, amplifier, laser disc in the bedroom, and make my kitchen more of a kitchen again, if you know what I mean. But I'm not exactly, you know, I mean, I put this near the speakers. Oh yeah, that's the bass driver there. Move away. I wonder if I can hear it with my ear. Yeah, there's a sound there, which is usual, typical cinema PA sort of thing. Okay, so all you audio home theatre filers, thinking, you know, you go listen up close to a screen in a cinema, you will hear even a sub-bass speaker producing some sort of kind of very mild hiss or noise. Mostly some of that is generated through the amplifier. If you can work it, figure it out, and then isolate, you know, obviously if I unplug it from the audio connectors, it's less, because that's generated through, it's not mostly the amplifier, it's generated mostly through whatever else, and it's then try to isolate that. That's where this device is going to come more useful, so I can test the cable along and see, you know, and maybe use something simple and cheap like bloody tin foil. Wrap it around the freaking cable. I mean, tin foil's bloody cheap. Come on, think about it. And you get meters of it. Meters. Enough to sink a bloody battleship. And it don't cost that much. And then you could do whatever, you know. If it works, why knock it, you know? You know. I've tested the CB radio and all that, and that didn't seem to do any, you know, but the antenna's outside mostly. But if I put a mobile antenna in the room, it most likely, this equipment would be susceptible to RF pickup of possibly my modulation, or maybe a little thump or a click sound every time I transmit. I am your father. Yeah, it seems like the same loudness. But you got to have it on an RTA analyzer, the output, and have it onto the REM on the screen, and so you can see, test it up close, obviously. Just the sensitivity. I'll go nearer over to this one. I'm not too sure, but I've got a very faint suspicion that one's just a fraction dB few louder. It just tonally sounded a fraction, a couple of dB. But got you know, that's where the device is, you know, and all these people, these bloody bullshitters on YouTube with their bloody this cable pure and everything. And what about the AVR and all this purity crap? And they talk about turn it on. I mean, even if I turn the LCD off on this, I can still pick up some faint signal noise, probably from behind it. As to whether or not that is generating some signal noise into, you know, that's why you got to have the specific test equipment that are connected onto the outputs, whether it be the speaker output or whether it be the RCA phono outputs, XLR, whatever, and then it does the FFT. Can you see that signal noise? Because it might be very faint, almost inaudible. And if it's almost inaudible, that's not too bad. But if it's there, then it's there. And if it could be isolated a little bit more, then yeah, fine. So be it. Isolate it a little bit more. Make it better. Make it cheaper, isolated. It's like the light flicker on there. That's flicking. Camera can see it, but my eye can't. And it picks up. That's mains to an LED kind of type light in there, but they all got different light frequency. My little cats are squabbling in here. They're squabbling. Oh look, he's got red eyes. He's the omen. I'll test him. Just a very mild oscillation from Bear. What about Magic? Oh.